Right then, Blades fans, buckle up because we've got 3 massive stories that could shape the rest of our season. I'm talking transfer speculation, squad depth concerns, and a potential signing that's got clubs across the championship scrambling. Whether you're watching this in your living room or sneaking a look at work, you've come to the right place for proper Sheffield United analysis. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Join thousands of Blades fans who get their Sheffield United news first, straight from someone who bleeds red and white just like you. Smash that like button as well, because it genuinely helps us reach more United supporters across the globe. And stick around until the end because we're covering 3 stories that every Blade needs to know about. First up, we're tackling the Joe Rothwell links. Is he the midfielder we actually need, or are we looking in the wrong direction? Then we'll discuss Luke Graham, the young Scottish defender that's got QPR, Portsmouth, and yes, our Sheffield United all interested. What would he bring to Bramall Lane? And finally, we're talking about a potential replacement for Gustavo Hamer. Josh Mulligan's name is being thrown about, and there's a fascinating West Brom connection to this story. Let's get into it. Confirmed, Sheffield United are reportedly targeting Rangers midfielder Joe Rothwell for a January loan move. Now, before you get too excited or start moaning in the comments, let's break this down properly because there's more to this story than meets the eye. Joe Rothwell's name has popped up again as a potential signing for Chris Wilder's side. According to reports, we're showing serious interest in bringing the midfielder to South Yorkshire on loan before the window slams shut on February 2nd. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it should. Rothwell spent last season on loan at Leeds United, making 36 championship appearances. He knows this level. He's played at Elland Road, and he's shown he can handle the intensity of second-tier football. But here's where it gets interesting. Since returning to Ibrox in the summer, Rothwell hasn't been getting regular minutes under Danny Roll. That's raising questions. Why isn't he playing? Is it form, fitness, or simply not fitting the system? These are legitimate concerns when you're considering bringing someone in, even on loan. Chris Wilder's got us flying right now, hasn't he? After that disaster of a start to the season, we're now genuinely looking at the playoffs. We're 16 points in the table after 25 games, sitting 9 points off the playoff places with a game in hand on several rivals. That comeback from rock bottom to playoff contenders is nothing short of remarkable, and it's down to Wilder knowing exactly what this squad needs. So where does Rothwell fit into this? Well, let's talk squad depth. In central midfield, we've got options. Harold Riedewald's come in and been absolutely fantastic. Ollie Arblaster's getting better every single day as he recovers from that serious injury. City Peck should be back soon. Tom Davies, if he could stay fit, though we all know his injury history means we can't rely on him long term. And Summers improved his performances in recent matches, even more regular game time. That's 5 central midfielders right there. 5. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Depth is never a bad thing, especially in the championship where you're playing week in, week out, sometimes twice a week. But is Rothwell the depth we need right now? Here's where the debate gets spicy. Jimmy, one of our fan representatives speaking of Football League World, raised some brilliant points. He said it's a tricky transfer window for us. We definitely need reinforcements in certain positions. We need competition for Femi Suriki at right back. We could do with a goalkeeper to push Michael Cooper. Many of us want another option on the wing. These are the areas screaming out for attention. And this is the crux of it. With Riedewald performing brilliantly, Arblaster progressing, Peck returning, and even Sumer stepping up, is central midfield really our priority? Jimmy put it perfectly when he asked, do we need him? I'm not absolutely sure either. We know Rothwell can be quality at this level. We saw what he did for Leeds last season, but things haven't worked out at Rangers, and that has to make you wonder. There's also the tactical consideration. Wilder's got this team playing a certain way, with specific roles and responsibilities. Would Rothwell fit that system? Would he be happy coming in as squad rotation when he's probably looking for regular football to get his career back on track? And let's be honest, if you're struggling for game time at Rangers, does that suggest you're in the form we need to maintain our push for the playoffs? Now, I'm not saying Rothwell's a bad player. Far from it. On his day, he's a talented midfielder who can dictate tempo, recycle possession, and contribute in the final third. But timing matters in football. This might not be the right time for Sheffield United to bring him in, not when we've got other positions that need addressing far more urgently. Our next match is at home against Mansfield Town in the FA Cup third round on January 11th. Kickoff at half 2. That's a chance for Wilder to rotate, give some of the squad players minutes, and see what we've got before making any hasty decisions in the transfer market. Maybe that match will show us exactly where our depth is weakest. So here's my question to you lot watching. Would you take Joe Rothwell on loan? Or would you rather Wilder focus our resources on right back, goalkeeper, or the wings? Get in the comments below and let me know. Are you Team Rothwell or Team Focus elsewhere? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts because this fanbase knows football, and your opinions matter. Drop a comment, and while you're down there, hit that like button. Let's keep this conversation going. Brace yourselves for this one. Sheffield United are in a three-way battle for one of Scottish football's brightest defensive prospects and the competition's fierce. Luke Graham, the 21-year-old Dundee defender, is being chased by us, QPR, at Portsmouth. This lad's got championship clubs circling, and there's a reason why. Let me set the scene. Graham's been an absolute rock for Dundee this season. He started 20 of their 21 Scottish Premiership matches, including that massive 1-0 win over rivals Dundee United just this past Saturday. Stephen Priestley, Dundee's gaffer, called him a player with a big future at the start of the season, and you can see why. The kid's consistent, he's hungry, and he's proving himself week in, week out in Scotland's top flight. Now, Portsmouth are reportedly preparing the first potential bid for the former Falkirk man this January. But Chris Wilder's Sheffield United and Julian Steffen's QPR are also admirers of this versatile defender who can play center back or full back. That versatility is gold in the championship. You need players who can cover multiple positions because injuries happen, suspensions happen, and fixture congestion is brutal. Graham's not a stranger to leaving Dens Park either. He's had loan spells at Albion Rovers, Montrose, and most recently Falkirk, where he played a key role in their promotion from Scotland's second tier last season. That promotion experience is valuable. He knows what it takes to get over the line when the pressure's on. But here's where this story gets really interesting. According to FotMob, Graham's won 141 duels in the Scottish Premiership this season. 141. That shows he's got the tenacity, the physicality, and the winning mentality that you need in English football, particularly in the Championship where every match is a battle. Portsmouth need him desperately. They're in a relegation scrap, sitting just 1 point above Norwich City, who are 22nd. They've conceded 35 goals in 24 championship matches this season. 35. That's alarming, and it explains why John Mousinho's side is looking to shore things up at the back. Their 5-0 hammering at Bristol City on New Year's Day was the last straw, and they haven't played since because their weekend match was postponed. QPR, on the other hand, are flying. They smashed Sheffield Wednesday 3-0, and they're pushing for the playoffs. They want Graham to strengthen a squad that's building momentum. Different motivation, same target. So where do we fit it? Well, our match against Oxford was also postponed at the weekend, but we're sitting 16th with genuine playoff ambitions. We're 9 points off with a game in hand, and if we're serious about that top 6 push, we need squad depth. Defensively, we've been solid under Wilder, but adding a young, hungry defender with promotion experience and the ability to play multiple positions, that could be shrewd business. The question is whether Dundee will let him go mid-season. They're fighting their own battles in Scotland, and losing a regular starter could derail their campaign. But if the money's right and Graham wants to move to test himself in English football, deals can be done. We've seen it before with players coming from Scotland. John McGinn went from Hibernian to Aston Villa back in 2018, when Villa were in the Championship, and look at him now. He's a Premier League regular and a Scotland international. That's the blueprint. Here's the thing though, Portsmouth sound the most desperate. They're facing potential relegation back to League One, which would be catastrophic for a club of their size. They need defensive reinforcements immediately. But do they have the pulling power? Can they convince a 21-year-old with ambition that joining a relegation battle is better than signing for a team pushing for the playoffs? That's where Sheffield United and QPR have the advantage. We can offer Graham the chance to compete at the right end of the table, to be part of something positive, to develop in an environment where he's not fighting for survival every single week. That matters to young players. They want to develop, to improve, to be part of success. The versatility factor can't be overstated either. Wilder loves a player who can do a job in multiple positions. It gives him tactical flexibility. And in the championship, where you're playing 46 league matches plus cups, having someone who can slot in at center back or fullback is massive. Injuries and suspensions happen, and when they do, you need players ready to step in without the team falling apart. But I'll be honest with you, securing Graham won't be easy. 3 championship clubs fighting for one player usually means the price goes up. The wages increase, and suddenly what looked like a smart bit of business becomes expensive. Wilder and the board will need to decide if Graham's worth battling Portsmouth and QPR for, or if there are other targets who might be easier to secure. Our FA Cup match against Mansfield on the 11th could be a perfect opportunity to assess our defensive options, see who's fit, who's sharp, and whether we genuinely need to splash cash on another defender or if our current group can handle the run-in. So here's what I want from you. Do you think Sheffield United should go all in for Luke Graham? Or are there other areas of the pitch that need investment more urgently? Would you rather see us sign a young Scottish prospect with potential, or go for someone with more championship experience? Comment below and let's debate this properly. And if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button. It tells me you want more detailed transfer analysis like this. Right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Gustavo Hamer. Our 28-year-old midfielder has been absolutely key since joining from Coventry City back in 2020-3. But there's genuine concern he could leave at the end of the season, and if an irrefusable offer comes in during the summer, Sheffield United might have no choice but to sell, despite his contract running until 2027. That's the harsh reality of football at our level. If a Premier League club comes calling with serious money, players move on. It's happened before. It'll happen again. So Chris Wilder and the recruitment team need to be thinking ahead. Who could replace Hamer if the worst happens? Enter Josh Mulligan. Josh Mulligan is a 23-year-old midfielder currently at Hibernian, and according to EFL analysis, he turned down a move to West Brom last year. That's significant. It shows ambition. It shows he's being selective about his next move, and it suggests he's waiting for the right opportunity. Could Sheffield United be that opportunity? Let me give you the background on this lad. Mulligan came through the Dundee Academy and was a regular across multiple youth levels. As a youngster, he was loaned to Cove Rangers and Peterhead to get experience. Proper Scottish lower league football, where you learn your trade the hard way. He then established himself in Dundee's first team, making 124 appearances across all competitions and scoring 6 goals. That's proper development. Not rushed, not hyped, just steady progress. His performances at Dundee earned him a move to Hibernian last June, and he's carried that form to Edinburgh. 16 appearances, 2 goals so far. He's maintaining his standards at a higher level, which is exactly what you want to see from a young player stepping up. The statistics paint a picture of someone who's ready for the next challenge. Now, imagine if Hamer does leave in the summer. We need someone who can compete with City Peck, Oli Arblaster, and Jibril Soumer for that midfield spot. Mulligan would add competition and options. At 23, he's got his best years ahead of him. He's got potential to evolve and develop even further throughout his career. That's what smart recruitment looks like in players before they hit their peak. Developing them and either keeping them for years or selling them on for profit. Here's where the West Brom connection gets interesting. He rejected them last year. Why? Maybe the timing wasn't right. Maybe he wanted another season in Scotland to develop. Maybe West Brom's project didn't appeal to him. But now, a year later, he's more experienced, more mature, and potentially ready for English football. If Sheffield United come calling with a clear plan for how he fits in, how he develops, and what role he'll play, that might be the move he's been waiting for. There's also the Scottish connection to consider. We've seen Scottish midfielders thrive in English football. John McGinn's the obvious example. He went from Hibernian to Aston Villa in 2018 when Villa were in the Championship. And now he's a Premier League regular and one of Villa's most important players. Mulligan will surely want to follow in those footsteps. The pathway is there, the blueprint exists, and Sheffield United could be the club to give him that opportunity. Now, let's be realistic. Would Mulligan walk straight into our starting 11? Probably not. But that's not the point. What he'd provide is genuine competition for places. When Arblaster, Peck, and Soumer know there's someone breathing down their necks, someone who wants their spot, it raises everyone's game. That's how you build a squad that's competitive week in, week out. The timing would also work in our favor. If we're serious about going up either this season or next, bringing in Mulligan before Hamer leaves would be smart succession planning. Let him settle, learn the system, understand what Wilder wants, and then, when Hamer does move on, you've already got his replacement embedded in the squad. That's far better than scrambling to replace a key player after they've gone. But here's the challenge. Convincing Hibernian to sell midseason or in the summer won't be easy. He's performing well for them, and they'll want top money. Plus, if West Brom were interested last year, you can bet other championship clubs will be sniffing around too. Competition for signatures means higher fees and wages. The board will need to back Wilder if they want to get this deal done. There's also the question of whether Mulligan himself would fancy Sheffield United. We're a massive club, huge fan base, brilliant stadium, but we're not in the Premier League right now. Some players want guaranteed top-flight football. Others see joining a club, pushing for promotion as the perfect challenge. Mulligan rejected West Brom, so clearly he's got standards and ambitions. Will we meet them? I think we would. Chris Wilder's track record of developing young players is excellent. He knows how to get the best out of midfielders, and playing at Bramall Lane in front of 30,000 passionate Blades fans is an experience every footballer should want. Plus, if we do go up, Mulligan would be part of that journey. That's a hell of a selling point. Our focus right now has to be on maintaining this playoff push. The Oxford match being postponed was frustrating, but it gives us extra recovery time before Mansfield in the Cup. That match on January 11th is a chance to rotate, keep everyone fresh, and prepare for the championship run-in. And behind the scenes, the recruitment team should be working on deals, like Mulligan, planning for the future while focusing on the present. So, final question for all you Blades out there. If Gustavo Hamer leaves in the summer, would Josh Mulligan be the right replacement? Or would you rather we went for someone with more championship experience? Do you trust the recruitment team to find Hamer's successor? Or are you worried we'll struggle to replace his quality? Get in the comments and share your thoughts. This is the kind of discussion that gets me excited about football. And if you've made it this far, you're proper invested in Sheffield United's future. Show your support by dropping a like on this video. Right then, let's wrap this up. 3 massive stories, 3 big talking points for every Sheffield United fan. First, Joe Rothwell. We're linked with a loan move, but with 5 central midfielders already in the squad and other positions needing attention, is this the transfer we should be prioritizing? Second, Luke Graham, the young Scottish defender wanted by us, QPR, and Portsmouth. Do we need to win that battle to strengthen our playoff push? And third, Josh Mulligan, a potential long-term replacement for Gustavo Hamer, but can we convince him to choose Sheffield United over other championship suitors? These are the questions that'll define our January window and potentially our summer business too. Chris Wilder's building something special here. After that horrific start, we're now genuinely looking at the playoffs. That's management, that's coaching, that's getting the absolute maximum out of this squad. But to go the distance, to actually secure promotion, we might need reinforcements. Whether that's Rothwell, Graham, Mulligan, or someone else entirely, the recruitment team have got work to do. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Sheffield United's transfer business and the latest news, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We're bringing you regular content on everything Sheffield United, from match analysis to transfer speculation, tactical breakdowns of fan discussions. This is your home for proper Blades coverage. Smash that like button as well. It genuinely helps this channel grow and reach more Sheffield United fans across the world. And most importantly, get involved in the comments. Tell me what you think about these 3 stories. Which transfer should be our priority? Where do we need strengthening most? What's your prediction for the rest of the season? I read every single comment, and I love debating football with fellow Blades. Share this video with your mates who support Sheffield United. Send it in the group chat, post it on social media, get everyone talking about where we go from here. The more Blades fans we can get discussing this stuff, the better our community becomes. Next match is Mansfield at home in the FA Cup on Saturday the 11th. Come on you Blades, let's keep this momentum going. Keep climbing that table, and keep believing that promotion is possible. Until next time, stay passionate, stay loyal, and keep the faith. We are Sheffield United, and we're on the march. See you in the next one.